Coming at you live from Chicago. This is the bottom line. We're giving you the news the way you need to hear it. We're saying the things other people are afraid to say. I'm Victor Woods.
And I'm Kimberly O'Sullivan. I hope everyone had a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Although here in local news in Chicago, we had a 19-month-old little girl, Cherish Myers, who ran into the street and was run over and trapped under a CTA bus. He actually tried to swerve to avoid her, but was unable to. But the part that I don't understand is, where are the parents? I mean, a 19-month-old?
Buffoonery. That's all it is. Buffoonery. I mean, a 19-month-old child in front of a... But what the hell is a 19-month... I mean, this isn't Popeye and Sweepy. You know how Olive Oyl always loves Sweepy. I mean, this is a real child. It's not a cartoon. And she's dead. And so, you know, this is just irresponsible, and my heart goes out to family members, but, you know, you have to be responsible for your children. And here again, you know, life on the south side of Chicago, whether it be gunfire and now, you know, babies in front of the bus. I mean, our communities are in a state of emergency.
And actually in Dalton, in the suburb of Dalton, we had some shootings go on as well this weekend. Carolyn Scott's family was having a family barbecue, and her grandchildren were playing about a half a block down the road, and a dispute broke out between a driver and a bicyclist, and shots were fired, and her grandson, 12 years old, got shot in the arm.
And again, here we have 3 children, you know, and an adult that was shot, and here again, you know, we are making bad decisions, and we need to be more careful on the south side of Chicago. Bottom line is, keep your children in the house. A lot of people will say, hey, it's too hot.
Or at least within eyesight.
Well, that's not even necessary. I mean, the boy was shot in front of his mother. She watched him get shot as he ran into the garage. The bottom line is, our children are dying. A lot of people are saying, hey, I don't want to keep my kids in the house in the summertime, especially small kids, because it's hot. It's going to be hot in the funeral home, too, while your child's sitting in the casket.
Or put them in the backyard.
Yeah, no. You can't see. Here's the difference between being white and black in America. You know, if you live in a rich suburb, and, you know, and I'm not trying to say anything offensive, but if you live in a white suburb, you can put your kids in the backyard. It's safe. But if you live on the south side of Chicago, you can get killed in the backyard. So that's not, you know, that's just not how things are handled on the south side and west side of Chicago. But, you know, that's the difference between how life is for some people in America and life is for other people in America. And the bottom line is, Chicago is more than downtown and Magnificent Mile. I mean, you know, you've got the west and the south side too, and it's just 2 different worlds. So we got to do better. You know, the people in all parts of the city have a right, particularly children, all have a right to have safe passage to and from school and be able to enjoy the summer. And it's just a shame at this point. It's a damn shame at this point. That, you know, we'll get into some other things later, but for now, you know, it's a damn shame. Use some common sense, people, and be good caretakers of your children, because what happened to that little girl is beyond a national tragedy. And unfortunately, she's gone, and we don't know what she might have become. So my heart goes out to her family. May she rest in peace.
Another hot topic in the news is Donald Sterling, Clippers owner, where he thought he was having a private conversation with his girlfriend and made some really racist remarks in saying, don't bring black people to the game.
Yeah, and here we have a focus on this guy, who obviously is a racist, and sat on national television and said, I buy cars for the black people, I buy them homes, I give them money for a vacation. Obviously, you know, you sound like a plantation owner. And the bottom line is, these athletes had a chance to do something to make everybody proud. Every black person in America, they could have stood up and they could have said, you know what? I'm not going to accept this. This is outrageous. It's the year 2014, and this man has said something that's so offensive, we're just going to shut down the NBA, playoffs or not, until he's removed. But you know what? These athletes, these black athletes in the NBA, don't even have the courage of a long-forgotten woman by the name of Rosa Parks, not forgotten by me. You know, that black woman, a lot of people concentrate on the fact that she wouldn't get up on that bus. Well, you know what? She had the courage to sit her ass down in the first place. And these athletes don't even have the courage of a Rosa Parks. Not only that, you had Jim Brown, who was the leading rusher in the NFL, who played for the Cleveland Browns, who happened to be on off-season in Hollywood making a movie. Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, ordered him back to training camp. He didn't like how that sounded. He said, I'll be back. They said they were going to fine him and ordered him back again. And he said, you know, I'm just going to quit the NFL. See, we don't have athletes with that kind of heart. We got a bunch of selfish people that are more concerned about their bottom line than standing up for what they should have stood up for, which black people all over the world were offended by what this man said. They had an opportunity to make a statement, but they don't have the heart of a Muhammad Ali, who when the federal government said, you know, if you don't go over to Vietnam, we're going to strip you of your title and we're going to send you to prison. And Muhammad Ali said, you know what? I'd just rather go to prison. See, people had to make sacrifices for us to be where we are today. Martin Luther King had to get shot in the head to advance black people. And what you've shown the world is you all don't have the character or integrity of a Muhammad Ali, of a Rosa Parks, of a Jim Brown, or Martin Luther King. And I, for one, bottom line, am disappointed and disgusted.
On a lighter note, Victor, I don't know if you heard, but Austin Dennison from Parkway High School in Rockford, Ohio, he took his grandmother to his senior prom. And that I just thought that was amazing because that's something very special. She never had a chance to go to her own prom. And I know how you can relate because your grandmother played a very special role in your life.
You know, I think that's a feel-good story, and you got to love a story like that. It's a great storyline. And yeah, my grandmother did play a very important role in my life. She used to tell me, Victor, you can always make it. And I, hold on to those thoughts, when things have been tough for me. And my grandmother, I also dedicated my book to her. So, I love that story, and taking your grandmother to prom is a great thing to do. So I'm glad that got out into the news because
and it's few and far between that we even hear these good stories in the news anymore. No. Everything is death and stabbings and horrific crimes that have occurred. So when something comes along where somebody does something very special,
I agree.
We need to take time to acknowledge it.
Absolutely, and I think that that's a great story. It's a feel-good story. It makes me feel good, and hopefully. Those of us who are going to prom, if you got a grandma out there, take your grandma. Some of us might stay at home and say, hey, I don't have a date. Take grandma. Take granny to the prom. Obviously somebody did. You can too.
Also in the news is Kim Kardashian and Kanye West tying the knot in Italy.
Yeah, to me that's not news. Here you have a girl that started off, her career, famous for what? Famous for nothing. And I like beautiful women. We have Marilyn Monroe, Pamela Anderson, Halle Berry, they all did something. This is the only person that's famous for, I take that back. She's famous for making a porno movie. Anything that any other girl, and please pay attention, girls, if you have a sex tape and you lose it on the internet, you will not be famous. And I heard that Kanye West made a toast at the wedding and referenced that the Kardashians are some of the most remarkable people of our time. Well, then how did they fit in exactly with Mother Teresa, Princess Di, any of our presidents, the Dalai Lama? It's ridiculous and buffoonery. I was shocked when she was on Vogue magazine. I was shocked when I saw Kanye West and Kim Kardashian sitting next to Jay-Z and Beyonce at the Music Awards, two people that have actually accomplished and done something. The ridiculous looking face that Kim Kardashian had, that's what's remarkable, what she's been able to do with her behind. And incidentally, there's a whole bunch of black women around the country that got big behinds. Yeah, a lot of women have a big behind, and they're not rich and famous for it. So no, I don't really consider that, consider news. And I got a shout out for Kanye West. Kanye West is from the South Side of Chicago. I said this on CNN. We've got kids dying. People who supported your music. Why don't you check back in, brother, and do something? Cut your honeymoon short. We really, really need you. The whole thing is a bunch of buffoonery. It just, you know what? He falls in the same category as every last player, black, in the NBA that refused to walk off the basketball court because they thought that the playoffs was more important than what Donald Sterling said. So,
Switching gears, here is a story that is newsworthy. 200 Nigerian girls went missing. Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, they didn't go missing. They've been stolen and taken away. And the bottom line is, if they were white and looked like you, we'd find those people or those children in 24 hours, but they weren't. Bottom line, let 200 white girls or white women be missing or as you said, went missing.
Right.
We'd find them the same night. The people who did it would be shot or in jail, and that's the bottom line. But because these children are black, I mean, they're just missing. No, they're not just missing. They've been stolen away. And it reminds me of the Malaysia flight. I mean, they're missing, but we're spending billions of dollars trying to find a plane. We don't even know where it is, searching for a ping somewhere. Well, you know, can we hear 200 black girls screaming and hollering? We can hear that. Find those girls. We're not even looking for them. Send in the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, the reserves, the who?
The reserves.
And the paratroopers. Send there. Hell, I'll go. I'll go. We can saddle up. We'll go. Come get us. We'll form a posse and go get those girls. I mean, my God. Get the girls. Find the girls. And my heart goes out to the family and the girls.
Find the girls.
Find the girls. Wow. Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching The Bottom Line with Victor Woods
and Kimberly O'Sullivan.
And remember, we bring you the news the way you want to hear it, and we say the things other people are afraid to say. My book is available anywhere books are sold. You can reach me on Facebook, or you can find me on my website at victorwoods.com. And remember,
never, ever give up.
You've been bottom lined.